Welcome to Fantasy Fanline.
What is up, everybody? We are Fantasy Fanline. We are back for another great episode. We are getting so close to those fantasy playoffs. We have one more regular season week away till we get into those playoffs for a majority of leagues. It's exciting stuff. The season goes too damn fast, but this is what we work for. We work for that playoff push, and we're just about there. So we're gonna get into all the important questions about your must-win matchups, and I had a crazy damn matchup this weekend. I was just telling the guys in the pre-show that I was down big. I'm the number 1 seed in one of my big leagues against the number 2 seed. He was up big on me. We both scored high, and I thought I was toast. But Isaiah Pacheco, even though he's throwing in haymakers and whatever, had a Jersey boy, huge game. And then Jamar Chase, QB proof. Jamar Chase, that boy is a dog. And I came back, locked up the number 1 seed, locked up that bye week. So Isaiah Pacheco, Jamar Chase, love you guys. I'll be rooting for you the rest of the way. Your whole careers, I got dynasty stock, so I'm not trading you. I don't care. You're with me till the end of your careers. But Sinker, what's up, man? How you doing, bro?
Doing good, man. It's best time of year for me, man. Winter go home in a lot of leagues. You get snow on the ground for some of these football games, man. It just feels like, playoff football atmosphere everywhere. Fantasy football playoffs 1 week away, man. I mean, I love it. This is right now is like peak fantasy for me.
It really is the best. Like, sometimes like mid-season, you catch yourself slipping sometimes. Like, it's a little really repetitive, but then like you get to this time of year, like Christmas time, December, it's cold outside. You're like, these are the games that matter. These are the important weeks for, real NFL teams and our fake teams. So we'll talk it all. We got some people in the chat showing love. What's up, Lou? Thanks for tuning in. Of course, Albert. It's always great to see you, man. Thanks for being with us every step of the way. Really appreciate it. Big lose in 6 leagues with a winner go home situation. So I'm going to shut up. Let's talk some football. Without further ado, from the fantasy boardroom, we are bringing in Fantasy Football Tycoon. What is up, Tycoon? How you feeling, man?
What up, guys? I'm feeling good. Like you guys said, man, it's the best time of the year for fantasy. I am... it's weird. I'm actually having the best fantasy season that I've ever had. Conversely, having by far the worst NFL betting season I've ever had. So I'm not really sure how that works, like how I'm nailing fantasy but not hitting these props. Whatever. I'll take the fantasy success all day long. So yeah, I'm in high spirits, man. I'm heading into the playoffs strong in most of my important leagues. I'm looking forward to hopefully helping some other people do the exact same thing.
For sure. And the most important thing, man, is your badass mustache. I have to point out the stash. It's awesome. I wish I could grow one like that, but that's
November
for our
carryover.
All right, I got you. So let's get into it. I'm just gonna set a reminder that we are a call-in show. If you listen to us all the time, you know that by now. But if you're a new listener, you can call with us. Talk about the games, talk about your lineup, sit-start situations, whatever you want. You can make fun of me for telling Joe in Boston to start Cooper Kupp over James Conner. Joe, if you're listening, my heart broke when Conner ran 2 in. I'm so freaking sorry. Maybe you should listen to Sinker. He's right sometimes too. I got to give him some credit. That's on me. It's hard for me not to sit Cooper Kupp. I just think he has that potential to go off every week, but it's Puka Nakua season, man. I think he took over that spot. That's what it looks like. I can't believe I'm saying that, but comments are rolling in. Joe, if you're watching, we got Tommy Donuts. Leave an F in the chat for Tank Dell owners. We got a bunch of people typing F right now, so I guess let's get into it. Who benefits most from the Tank Dell injury? And you absolutely hate to see the rookie on his way to being a freaking star with CJ Stroud. Like, these guys were going in all year, just chemistry. And Doesn't
So
matter if you have him on your team. If you're a football fan, that just sucks to see. Like, Tank Dell, wishing you the best, man. I know you'll bounce back strong. You're a baller. But unfortunately, we have to talk about fantasy and the situation in Houston with the Tank Dell injury. I think Stroud stock is unfortunately down because that's his boy. And once you lose your boy, it doesn't really get better. But, we can be optimistic about it. And Tycoon, welcome to the show. I'll pass this one to you, man.
all right, I'll go lead off on this one. First of all, yeah, shout out Tank Dell. Please get better. It's funny you mentioned if you just like football at all, you love this kid. My wife is not the biggest football fan in the world, but she watches every week with me. She's supportive. She's a good football wife. Let's put it that way. And I love her and appreciate her for that. She fell in love with this kid, not even knowing anything about him. Just watch, and really over the last like 3-4 weeks, every week she's seeing these plays. She's like, who is that guy? And she loves him. So it even broke her heart. So yeah, if you are a football fan, indeed, this sucks. But to answer the question, who benefits the most? For me, it has to be Nico Collins. I understand Noah Brown should be back, and I understand what he has done in his most recent active performances. I think 150 or more yards in 2 of his 3 most recent games. That said, I don't, with what we've seen from him in his career, which I know mostly Dallas, but still, that's the outlier so far from Noah Brown. Whereas Nico Collins, we have seen play well with Davis Mills. Obviously, he's had his moments here with Stroud as well. And now with numero uno in Tank out of the picture, I think that role now shifts to Nico. I think he's just the more polished, experienced, and ready to make big play guy.
Yeah, for sure, man. I think we'll all agree with you there that Nico Collins is definitely the guy that you want to have to step up. I will say I know he was out and everyone was talking about Jordan, but Dalton Schultz, if he comes back, when he comes back, I don't think it was that serious. I think he'll be back. Him and Stroud were building some great chemistry.
Oh, yeah.
I think he's going to be great, especially in tight end premium leagues. I think his stock's on the rise. But as far as CJ Stroud, I think the stock's down because once you lose that big target, your boy, your fellow rookie you're growing with, it just sucks. I'm not saying CJ Stroud's still playable. He's a baller. He had a rough week, but curious to hear what your thoughts on this, Sinker. How you feeling about the Houston Texans? We could talk backfield too if you want.
Yeah, no, I agree 100%. I mean, like Nico Collins he's balling right now. I know, it sucks that Tank Dell's gone, but Nico Collins has been an alpha in that offense, even with, Tank Dell there. So, I think that's a tick up a little bit more for Nico Collins. Obviously we talked about Noah Brown as well. I mean, he played really well in games when Nico Collins was out. So I think he's a little bit different than, what you're going to get from Tank Dell on the field, but he's absolutely going to slide into that 2 slot. And I think if you're in a league where, after, Nico Collins came back and Noah Brown got dropped, I definitely think he's a guy you want to pick up this week. And if you're in a bind off bye weeks to go into a must win, I don't mind starting him. I get what you're saying, Sanj. With CJ Stroud, I think he does take a hit with Tank Dell, but I'm not that worried about it. I think, Nico Collins is his alpha receiver, and I think Noah Brown is a great guy to slide into that too. I still believe in that offense.
For sure. How we feeling about Dameon Pierce and his 2.73 yards per carry? He got 15 attempts. He outsnapped Singletary after Singletary was hot during his injury. Fell into the end zone. Is Pierce someone you're still keeping on the bench against the Jets? I think I'm keeping him on the bench because that defense is still pretty stingy. But
I don't know. If you're in a bind and you gotta play Pierce, then yeah. But if you're in a must win and you're relying on Pierce, you're probably not in that spot to start with. So I don't know, man. Pierce, I'm probably, if you're in a bind, I guess, but against the Jets, man, you got to look for other options. There's a lot of, running backs this week you might be able to fill in. Tajay Spears is one. I know Derrick Henry is supposedly not in concussion protocol, but if anyone saw that hit, dude, holy shit, man. Like, I don't know how this guy is not. There's no way he's 100. And even if he is 100,
Derrick Henry, I don't know.
I know. That's. I was reading about it on Twitter. It's like, if there's one dude who can take a hit like that and be knocked out and then come back and play, it's Derrick Henry, right?
For sure. I'm with you, Canes fan, saying just avoid the Texans backfield altogether now. It's
No
definitely a
interest.
rough situation. It's definitely a desperation play. Look for other options if you can. And if you're desperate, I guess fingers crossed, pray to the fantasy gods. P Muggs, thanks for tuning in. Don't apologize about being late. Thank you for your time and joining us again. We really appreciate it. Just talking about the Houston Texans and how we think, Stroud stocks are down. Nico Collins stocks are up though. And hopefully Stroud can keep getting it done. But as we said, get better, Tank Dell. We hate to see it. We hope to see you ball out the rest of your career. Speaking of people who aren't balling out, let's talk some Chargers football. What a game that was. A 6-0 shootout against New England. What the hell is going on with the Chargers? And is it time to panic on Justin Herbert and Austin Eckler? I think it's been time to panic the way this season's been going. It just where those drafts, where you got those guys in your draft, just unreal. And if you traded for Eckler, when he was hurt, thinking about, okay, I could buy him low now, and he'd come back and do Eckler things. He hasn't been doing those things. The offense just it's completely night and day compared to how it's looked in previous years. And I definitely think it's time to panic on this Chargers offense. I know you're in a lot of leagues. If you're in a playoff push with these guys, congrats. But Herbert's had his games. Keenan Allen balls out. More worried about Austin Eckler. Just doesn't look the same to me. But pass this to you, Sinker. How you feeling about this Chargers team? And is it time to panic on their two biggest playmakers?
I mean, I think Justin Herbert, he's got the ability to bounce back. I mean, I'm reading in the chat, Kane saying they don't have a downfield stretcher, which is true. I think that's hurt him a lot. And then the dump off from Eckler isn't seeming to be as efficient as it has been in prior years. I think with with Herbert, I'm not quite as worried. I do think that he's got game scripts coming up where he's going to get there in fantasy reasons. So if you've got Herbert, I think I'm not fully panicking yet, but Austin Eckler, man, he might go down this year as like the biggest bust in the first round. For a long time, it was looking like, Jamar Chase, but right now it's Austin Eckler with the injury early on. This guy, it's just, I don't think he's playing 100% right now, and I don't like what I'm seeing. So unfortunately, again, it's probably one of those things. If you have him, you have to start him. Or if you took Eckler in the first, I'd love to see the lineups that, got you into the playoffs already, because I've got some rosters where I took Austin Eckler and it's not looking good.
He has had some solid weeks. Week 1 against Miami, that was decent. Week 8 against the Bears, good week against the Jets in week 9. Week 10, Detroit, pretty solid. And then it's just been absolutely horrible these last 3 weeks. So yeah, we can't crap on him too much. But with that being said, he's the RB26.
Yeah,
that's not what you drafted Austin Eckler to do. So yeah, you have to keep playing him.
In the top 5 pick, dude, no thank you. No thank you.
Yeah, just you have to keep playing him if you took him that high, and he's capable of those 20-point games. But we've seen Eckler, give you 40-point games, and just not coming this year.
Yeah, I will say, like, if you look at his upcoming schedule, Denver, Vegas, Buffalo, Denver again, like, you can run the ball in Denver. I mean,
pretty good.
If anything is looking up for him, it's like that playoff schedule is juicy. So, like, I'm sure a lot of people who acquired Eckler at his low was looking at that, but like, yeah, I mean, now that I look at that, it's like, he sucks, man. He hasn't had a good couple games, but I could definitely see bounce back spot for him.
For sure. And Big Blue, Quentin Johnston wasn't a bum. This offense would look a lot better. True. You saw the list of receivers that they passed on to take Quentin Johnston. Chargers fans, don't look that up. You're going to hate it. But Tycoon, how you feeling about Chargers playmakers?
You guys hit on both the notes I was thinking, and it's weird because, like you said, Zachi, it's been time to panic. The last 3 weeks have been quite ugly. But also, as you guys both said, especially in the case of Eckler, you can't really sit him most likely. And whether very likely, if you relied heavily on either of these guys, you're in a tough spot right now. I've been saved in a couple of Eckler leagues because I drafted either Kamara or Swift, in 8th, 9th, 10th round type range. So that kind of, thank goodness, helped make up for that, but can't really count on that to be a regular occurrence. So you're probably sunk at this point. So at this stage with the matchups coming up, including Denver this week, you just have to keep rolling them out. You don't really have a choice. And with Herbert, I'm not as excited about these matchups. Now, this is 100% pure guy in his couch speculation, but I'm wondering if there's another injury he might be dealing with beyond that finger. He just doesn't look right. I don't know. I know that sounds like a cop-out, but he just doesn't. He's not passing the eye test in terms of what Justin Herbert normally looks and moves like. And obviously, yeah, having Keenan Allen and nobody else, especially with Eckler looking washed these last 3 weeks, he seems like he's having to try and do everything almost all by himself with an inept coaching staff and not at full health. And that to me just spells further struggles. I mean, unless he can get 250 and 3 to Keenan Allen, I don't see a big plus fantasy performance coming from him.
Yeah, and Josh Green, our bud Josh Green, chimes in saying Keenan Allen and Austin Eckler can't both go off given field placement. For sure, definitely makes sense. Jonathan, what's up? What's up, man? Thanks for tuning in again. Appreciate it. Would you guys throw Love in your lineup over Herbert this week? Let's talk Jordan Love because that boy's balling out, man. Sorry, Sinker. He's a Chiefs fan out in Kansas City. No one was taking Green Bay in that game, and I saw a video. They were asking Andy Reid what they felt about how he felt about Jordan Love, and he had no idea who he was. It was a sick edit, and then it was just Jordan Love just ripping the Chiefs, and that kid is good. You love Green Bay, always hitting on these quarterbacks, man. There's something in the water over there, something in the cheese. Let's talk Jordan Love. We throwing in Jordan Love over Justin Herbert, which if you ask anyone that during draft season, they would have tried to put you in a psych ward, but that's fantasy football for you. And it's a serious, legit question now. Jordan Love plays my Giants Monday Night Football, and it's a hell of a matchup. Only a 37.5 over under on FanDuel Sportsbook. It's a lot. That's low, low scoring.
To me, it really just depends on if Christian Watson goes or not. Early indication. The last time I checked, it's kind of up in the air still. They said it's not as serious as it initially thought, but I mean, we were all watching that game. To me, it looked pretty serious. That's the only thing. Other than that, it's a no-brainer. Just stick with Herbert. But I don't know. Maybe I'm still bitter about the Sunday night L I took. So
yeah, I think I'm sticking with Herbert too. Denver in LA, 43.5 over under. So they're expecting more points in that game. And as you said, Christian Watson was balling out. He was breaking out again, like what you expected him to do, Sinker. And it just sucks that he got hurt again. Like so much talent. He was looking great. And it's just a bad situation with a Monday night game. Like if you don't have a backup plan, if you don't have like Romeo Dobbs or Reed, like what are you gonna do? You're gonna start Isaiah Hodgins or Darius Slayton. As a Giants fan, I recommend you don't. So yeah, it's definitely a rough situation. Hopefully we get some news on Watson before, and that makes the decision a little closer to me. But as much as we just kind of ripped on Herbert, I'm still putting him in at home against Denver. I don't know if you feel the same way, Tycoon. You playing Justin Herbert this week?
For me, it's a little situational. So with or without Watson, the way I'm looking at this is it depends on what you think you need this week from that position in terms of floor versus ceiling. If you feel like you need to have a shot at hitting a 25-plus point week, I'm playing Love. If you feel like you just need to feel like you're going to hit 15 to 17, just you need that baseline, I think Herbert will get there this week. But I'm not comfortable in shooting for the moon with Herbert this week. So if you really need that home run, I would play Love.
Yeah, I like
that. For sure. We got what Josh Green said. I want to pull that up. Have some faith in Tommy DeVito and Barkley this week for your Giants. Hit him with the cutlets. Hey, I hope so. I might go to it. Maybe not. It's gonna be cold. We'll see how I'm feeling on Monday. But
tickets got to be affordable, I would think, right?
Yeah, they should be cheap. They should be cheap. It's gonna be Monday night. It's gonna be cold, and I went to one game this year, and that was the Jets-Giants game. So hopefully they could give me at least a little more entertaining game than that. Consider what I had to sit through in the rain for Jets-Giants. But questions are coming in. I'm sorry if I'm missing any. Let's see. I think we had a question about Taysom Hill.
Yeah, I saw that. If he's a must start, yeah.
Yes, has Taysom Hill entered must-start territory
Yes.
for tight ends? I mean, is he going to play quarterback? Is Carr out, or is Jameis going to play? We had the same question a few weeks ago, and I said he's a great start, but not a must start. But maybe he has been leaning into a must start because the tight end wasteland sucks, and if you don't have any of those huge, Sam Laporta or someone like that, shout out Laporta, monster week, never lost faith. But I'm still not on must start territory, but I'm on a good start territory. You said yes, so I'm curious to hear your thoughts on why he entered must start.
It's well again, and assuming you don't have Kelsey, Laporta, McBride, somebody like that, obviously, but otherwise versus any Prayer TE, he's at least almost guaranteed some level of involvement. They will manufacture 3 to 5 touches for him a game in some way. Now, some weeks he doesn't really do anything with them, but even the fact that they are forcing the ball into his hands via a carry or a throw or running a route, that's more than you can say for most tight ends, that they're actively being schemed the football. And especially if Carr is out and it's the Winston show, I expect Hill to be worked in a little more frequently.
I'm with you there. I'm definitely with you there. That if Winston's under center, they're gonna get start getting gadgety again with Taysom Hill.
Yeah.
Let him do it. We've seen it before. He can do it all, and I think they're gonna let him do it again. Sinker. I know you were in on Hill when this question came up a few weeks ago. Still feeling the same way. You think he's a must start, a good start, indifferent? How you feeling?
Yeah, I mean, I think you guys kind of hit it. You kind of nailed it already. I mean, I think the tight end position, outside of the couple guys that Tycoon mentioned, it's kind of ugly, man. You're hoping for a touchdown every week. I think Taysom Hill, he gives you a great opportunity to get in the end zone, and like you said, with Winston going, they're going to get gadgety. So I think fire him up, man.
For sure, good stuff, boys. Let's keep it pushing on some other questions. Unfortunately, we have to talk about another injury, and it's Trevor Lawrence, and it sucks, man. I know I was just talking to Tycoon before the show that I'm a contender in a dynasty league, and he's one of my QBs, super flex, and now I'm stuck with Goff and Carr. I guess it could be worse, but Carr might not play, so I'm gonna have to put a position player in the super flex. Those are my problems. I know a lot of you guys have Lawrence, and he was finally catching fire, looking like what we drafted him to be, which we knew he could be. One of my guys, like he was hitting that stride, and he was getting hot at the right time to win a damn championship, and it sucks. Now he might not even be back for 3-4 weeks. So let's talk about it. How big of a hit do the Jaguars pass catchers take? T-Law is out. He's gonna be out. And who do we like? Zay Jones or Parker Washington to replace Kirk? Just that's 2 massive hits to Jacksonville's offense. So let's talk Jacksonville. Tycoon, I know we talked a little bit about this before the show, but how you feeling about these pass catchers in Jacksonville? Does anyone get an increase in stock? We like Evan Ingram more. You think they're going to rely more on ETN now with Lawrence out? How you feeling?
I do think they'll rely or go back to relying more on ETN like they were more early in the season, unless he's really not. I mean, he was off the field a lot last night, so I wonder if that chest injury that was mentioned a couple of weeks ago maybe isn't 100%. But let's just say, for the sake of argument, he's healthy, and yeah, I do anticipate that they'll lean more on him. I don't give any boost to any of the pass catchers if CJ Beathard's under center. Not that CJ Beathard is incompetent by any stretch. He's a professional. He can play, but it is going to be a significant step back from what Trevor Lawrence was doing in recent weeks, and likely worse than what Trevor Lawrence was doing when he was struggling. Now, maybe a little biased from my experience with him as a 49ers fan. He came in, he did his spot duty okay, but really any extended play, it doesn't look so good. He's a backup for a reason, and especially with Kirk's injury, he's not going to have the full complement of weapons. Ridley was not performing on any consistent basis, even with Kirk in the lineup, so I think that's going to draw even more attention to Ridley as he's started to show up a bit in recent weeks. So I think it's all bad news for the Jags offense, unfortunately.
Unfortunately, I'm with you there. It sucks. The only one, I'm have some little hope for is ETN. Hopefully, they might feed him a lot and rely on him, but he's gonna face some stacked boxes now until they let this kid show him what he has, and sucks. Another damn it, like quarterbacks are just dropping like flies this year. It's football,
It's unreal.
tough sport. It happens all the time, but like feels like there's like an extra amount of QBs this year. Just
and high level quarterbacks,
Yep.
I mean, and I don't mean this to disparage people, but it's not like Jimmy G's going down every week. We're talking Joe Burrow, Trevor Lawrence. I mean, we're talking the elite level.
Cousins.
Cousins.
Watson, Daniel Jones. That's a joke. We can keep it pushing. we can keep it pushing. I don't want to hear. What's this? Josh Green in the chat rip on me. I know I still have to wear the damn Cowboys hat. Josh, I don't know if you're free. Oh, you told me the dates you're free. Maybe we'll try to get you on. I know we have Justin on next week, but he doesn't really make content, so maybe we'll do like a little 4-way show and it'll be fun. So hit me up. We'll talk about that. And I'll wear that stupid freaking hat, I guess. I don't know who to root for on Sunday night. It's Cowboys Eagles. I think I'm gonna maybe a
Go
tie.
Cowboys, I have to say. Well,
Yeah.
I need the Niners to get into that tie for the number 1 seed. So disgustingly, I'm not rooting for the Cowboys to win. I'm just rooting for the Eagles to lose. That's what I'm doing.
I know it's gonna be a great game, so I'm gonna tune in, but I'm just gonna be disgusted in myself.
Yeah, it's a good one.
It's definitely a good game. But you said you're a Niners fan, so I gotta ask this one, man. Purdy mania. Is there a team? Is there a team in the NFL who could stop San Fran right now? This is just a general football question. We could get into fantasy. Pretty much, if you have anyone on their offense, you're in good shape. Kittle, Debo, Ayuk, McCaffrey, Brock Purdy.
If you roster Niners, just play them. That's the fantasy advice.
For sure. It's the easiest advice we'll ever give. But damn. Brock Purdy goes from Mr. Irrelevant to MVP favorite. Did you see that? Is this guy the new Tom Brady?
Yeah. I'm not going that far, even with my Niners hat on. So I think he deserves to be in the MVP discussion. I don't think he's MVP. He's not number 1, but I'd put him probably top 4 or 5 contenders right now for MVP, at least for me. But I don't think there's a team that can stop a healthy San Francisco team. No, I think the one team that might have an opportunity matchup-wise to really give the 49ers problems might be Baltimore. That's the one team, and we're going to find out how that looks on Christmas Day.
That's a great game. Can't wait. My money's on San Fran. My money's on San Fran. I can't bet against them at this point. They're just rolling everyone.
There really isn't a weakness in the team. I mean, early in the season, you could say pass defense was an issue, but Javarius Ward's really stepped up his game. Diamador Lenore he can still be up and down, but he's really picked up his game. The pass rush has come into form with Bosa getting into game shape, the addition of Chase Young, and Purdy is simply playing great. And it's
unreal.
He has Kyle, the system, he has all the talent around him. I get all that. But even independent of that, he's doing what he's supposed to do, but more. And I say that we all watched Jimmy G in this system over the last few years, and we've seen some very strong individual games from Jimmy G. We've seen him put the ball on the money and everything but that play. Yeah. He actually played really well in that Super Bowl, except for the fourth quarter. So I mean, but we're seeing Brock actually be consistent and take more downfield shots. It isn't all dink and dunk. He has the most completions over 10, or the highest completion percentage on 10 plus, 15 plus, and 20 plus yards. He's 8th in completion percentage on passes of 40 plus yards. So he's pushing it and he's completing them. It's
Purdy mania.
It's kind of unreal to see as a 49ers fan because I'm so not used to that. So if these guys are healthy, I really don't see who is going to be able to stop them. And it's hard to also not feel that way coming out of Philly the way we just did.
Yeah, for sure, man. As a Giants fan, it's hard to root for someone in, your same conference, but just absolutely love Purdy. Last pick of the whole draft, Mr. Irrelevant. How do you not root for that guy? He's killing it. He's definitely in the MVP consideration. If he keeps playing like this, there's a shot he could win. And it just really made me feel all warm and fuzzy watching those fraud Eagles get dogged on national TV.
And it's nothing. I think even Sirianni said it. You couldn't blame it on 4 turnovers or any like strange things that happened in the game. Just straight up got beat.
It shows a lot about the
more
legitimacy.
From our side. Yeah,
for sure. It shows a lot about the legitimacy of that Eagles Super Bowl run last year. Because imagine Christian McCaffrey didn't have to play quarterback. I think San Fran would have won the whole thing. And at this point in time, it's a cop out, but my money's on them to go the whole way and win it all.
Debo talked a lot, and it sure seems like he was right. Let's put it that way.
He backed it up, that's for sure. But no, it's not Purdy that wins MVP. This is a weird one to talk about, but Tyreek Hill is your MVP from Canes fan. Fins up, little biased, but it's funny because we had this question lined up.
I agree.
I didn't type it out like an idiot, but it's
I definitely agree. I mean, I think that especially if he hits 2,000, I mean, he has
never been done. It's never been done. He's 519 away, and
we talk about it a lot here in Kansas City about, when we lost Tyreek and like, could they have made it work? And it's like, I remember at the time when we did trade Tyreek, I thought it was like perfect time to get rid of him. I was like, there's no way this guy can keep it up. The way his body is, completely wrong, dude. Like he is absolutely balling. And it's, you look at the Chiefs game, man, like we don't have a wide receiver. Like Rashee Rice is all right, but he's not a Tyreek. He's not even close. So
I don't think anyone's a Tyreek at this point, man. Tyreek Hill is Tyreek.
And I think Brett
down to like most valuable again.
Exactly. Yeah.
To play this exercise with everybody, but you take Tyreek off the Dolphins. I mean, 6-16, maybe 5-7.
I agree.
I don't. That defense is special. And that offense would not even be near as explosive.
Number one receiver, number 1 overall in fantasy. You look at his stat sheets, and it's just a fantasy football player's dream, man. Unreal. It's just Tyreek Hill. You're freaking amazing, man. I hope you get that 2K, man. You deserve it. You're just fun to watch. I feel like every week, red zone. Oh, Tyreek Hill, 74 yards. Like it's nothing. Like it's a 1 yard first down. Like those are the plays. It's so expected. Lou says at least you have Kadarius Toney, Tyreek Hill 2.0.
I mean, that's what I was getting into, dude. Brett Veach is like obsessed with trying to like find a Tyreek Hill type player. Like that's just what he consistently has gone to. So I don't know. Tony sucks, man. Get this guy out of here.
Yeah,
you guys both had to go through the Kadarius Toney experience, huh?
Yeah, he'll be out of the league sooner than later. But let's talk more fantasy. Good luck to your Niners, Tycoon. My G-men won't be in the playoffs, so I can say that.
Well, I see you're a Devils fan, though. I know this football show. At least know I'm going through some similar pain with you. I'm a Sharks fan, so we're just swapping pain in sports.
I have seasons. You guys beat us on Friday night.
I thought, was stunning. But I hope you guys are enjoying Timo. I miss him so much.
We got Devils Canucks tonight, Sanj.
All 3 Hughes brothers. As soon as this show ends, I'm staying up late. I'm watching that one. But back to football. We want to talk hockey. DM me. I love hockey. We can talk it. And, good luck to your Sharks with the rebuild. You guys beat us. You guys almost beat the Rangers, too. I hope that happened. But let's talk about a team no one expected to win. 90-something%, 98, 97% of the money was on Jacksonville last night. People thought the Bengals were nothing without Joe Burrow, but this guy, Jake Browning, comes in, 4 years experience in the league, had himself a game last night. And I think a lot of that has to do with Jamar Chase being one of the best, top 3 receiver in the league, in my humble opinion. So right now it's Tyreek, Jefferson when he's healthy, not healthy right now, and then Chase. But Jake Browning, we feeling good. Like if you lost Trevor Lawrence and, all the quarterbacks are taken in your leagues where guys want to hoard 4 QBs like I do in a couple leagues. Whoops. How are we feeling about Jake Browning? Is he start worthy? Like when in a desperation start, or he has Indianapolis, Minnesota, Pittsburgh, and KC, and those aren't great. But Indianapolis, Minnesota could be solid as long as he has Jamar Chase. We saw
Yeah,
him put up.
he's gonna carve up Indy, isn't that right, Lou?
Yeah.
He
He is,
probably
though.
is. So yeah, we're feeling good. We're feeling good about picking him up. Like if we're desperate, Jake Browning after a big game last night. I'm not completely sold, but 354 yards. He had a touchdown. Could have had more, but Mixon did his thing last night. You know, he has Jamar Chase. That's the point I'm trying to put into you. Like if you have a playmaker like that, you could put points up for fantasy football. I'm not saying he's going to be consistent. I'm not saying go blow all your fab out and put this guy in as your quarterback for a playoff push because that's just silly. But if you're desperate, I know there's still some bye weeks. I'm pretty sure, so definitely worth a smash start against Fleck. You know, put him in against Indy if you're desperate. I'm 100% okay with that. I'm curious what you guys think about this guy. Great game last night. Can he keep it pushing? Tycoon, how do you feel about Jake Browning?
Yeah, I'm not sold necessarily either. What I'll say with his rest of season schedule here, I'd be comfortable certainly playing him against Indy. They're very vulnerable in their pass defense is very vulnerable. Jeez, can't talk. And the Bengals will be at home. Obviously, he's been able to find a connection with Chase. I don't see how Indy is going to be able to stop that. Honestly, same thing the following week against Minnesota. But from there, I'd be very nervous. On the road against the Steelers and Chiefs, I wouldn't even dream of being a part of that. But yeah, if you're again in a tight spot at QB, if your quarterback is somewhere in that QB 10 to 12 type range that you're throwing out there weekly, if you've been that, yeah, happy to throw him out there. If you've been having to throw out guys like a Baker Mayfield at times, go get Browning.
Yeah, I'm not crazy about playing Browning in the semifinals and fantasy championships against those defenses. But Week 14 against Indy, definitely something to look at. Sinker, I'm sorry to cut you off, man. What were you gonna say?
No, you're good. I mean, like I just agree with that. Did you guys catch his his interview after the game at all, or did you guys turn the TV off? No, so he was talking about. I mean, they asked him. They were like, why do you think you played so well tonight, and what was different than your previous starts? And he just talked about how it's like getting more reps, having more time in the NFL, like actually playing, connecting with the team. How the line, the offensive line really won the battle. They got the run game going. So I don't know, man. He to me, my biggest takeaway from that game is he looked super comfortable in the pocket. Like he didn't look like he was like freaking out. And to me, like that moving forward, I agree with you. Indy and Minnesota, like these are definitely games you can start this guy. If you lost like Trevor Lawrence and you need someone to plug in, like I think he's a great play, and hopefully you get T-Law back so you don't have to deal with this. But yeah, I mean, like Jamar Chase alone, like that guy can easily get you, a touchdown, 2 touchdowns, 100+ yards just from that one guy. So I think, I don't know. The first 2 games were kind of brutal, but just seeing him, he passed the eye test for me. He looked comfortable, which is
Higgins was back last night, which helped as he continues to get a little healthier these next couple of weeks. That should, I would think, further aid Browning situation.
100%. Yeah, I agree.
There you have it. Fire him up against Indy if you're desperate. Hope for the best. Hope Jamar Chase does what he normally does, and that's just be one of the best professional football players on planet Earth. Let's talk P-Mugs. That's a great question. With Dallas Goedert possibly coming back, is that going to hurt Devontae Smith managers? Devontae Smith, about time, man. Kid's balling out, just like I expected him to. He was one of my guys. Obviously, he's not going to have a better year than A.J. Brown. It is what it is. But last few weeks have been great. And week 9 when he played Dallas, only saw he was on the field for 94% of the snaps. He only saw 3 targets, but still came down with 51 yards and a touchdown on 3 targets. That number has gone way up since then. And the last, the Kansas City game he was okay, but the last, Buffalo and San Fran, he's had some monster games. And I'm not worried about Devontae Smith. He's in your lineup every week. To keep that short and simple for you, P-Mugs. Might hurt you a little bit with Goddard getting a couple of the targets, but there's no way you're benching this guy. And I'm pretty sure these guys will agree with me. We'll keep it short and sweet. Tycoon, you worried about Devontae Smith? Or that's a guy
ditto everything you said.
Stinker?
I'm not, I'm not going and saying like I'm not going to start Devontae Smith, but this is the same exact thing that happened last year. Like Devontae Smith, when Goddard is out, absolutely balls out. When Goddard is in the game, you need to lower some expectations with him. I still think Devontae Smith is a stud, still a must start. Do not take him out of your lineup. But to answer this question, is it going to hurt a little bit? I think it does actually with Goddard back.
I don't like that tone sinker.
I
don't.
I don't think it does, just because so much of Devontae's play is on the deep ball. So I mean, still, as long if he catches a long pass in any given week,
I know, but I agree with you, man. But
that's not what Goddard's going to take away.
I know, but if you look at last year and you look at the data that we have this year, like Devontae Smith is objectively better with stats. Look it up, dude, because this is the argument I had all offseason about Devontae Smith. Is like,
you are correct about that. I mean, that is objective and factual.
But I'm not.
I guess I also worry about him coming back from the broken arm too. I mean, it's
for sure.
Is it going to be seamless?
And I'm not. That's why. And I hate to do this. Sanchi's always like, I'm sure we're all going to keep it short and sweet. And then here I come with my like.
No, I love it.
Just being like, I want to point one thing out, and that's all it is. It's like you're playing. You're going to play Devontae Smith no matter what. But when Goddard comes back, I do think it lowers his chance of having these monster games.
Just going to go ahead and bet Devontae Smith for 2 touchdowns against Dallas right now. No, I'm just messing with you. We'll see, man. The kid's been balling. I think I'm staying in the Flames. Either way, he's not leaving your lineup, right?
Yeah,
no way.
That's the overarching point.
Yeah, keep Devontae Smith in your lineup. Blue, here we go. Some winning we're in situations. Got a stacked team, winning in. Michael Pittman, wide receiver 1 season. All right, let's pump the brakes on that. Olave, Justin Jefferson, Puka, Brees Hall, Pollard, and Achane. Damn, you're stacked. How are you not in already?
Yeah, God. Is this a super flex and you have no quarterbacks or what?
Something Olave kind of sucking early, Jefferson being hurt, maybe. But but maybe not confident in playing Puka during those early big weeks while Olave was struggling.
Brees and Pollard were not for a while. We're not, they're not what you thought they were going to be. I don't know. Let's start it. Let's dig into this. So you need to start 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, and a flex. So what running back or what? Let's start with running backs. Let's see.
I'm starting Achane. Achane's locked in.
100%.
You're starting Achane with Miami. He needs to be in. Brees Hall.
I mean, so Pollard he's gotten going lately, but they've got Philly.
52.5 over under. The points, Vegas expects the points there. The Jets offense has been anemic. They need a quarterback. That game's 32.5 over under. I'm personally leaning Pollard and Achane and leaving my boy Brees on the bench. I love Brees. He's talented. He looked great to start the season, but the defenses are just expecting it now because the Jets can't throw. It's a whole freaking nightmare over there. For me, it's I'm Pollard and Achane as far as running backs. We'll keep.
Yes.
We need a flex too. Okay. I'm starting Puka Nacua. I'm not putting that guy on the bench. Justin Jefferson. It's Justin Jefferson, but he had. This is crazy. This is a crazy question, Lou. I appreciate this one. Let's dissect this. Tycoon, I want to hear your thoughts on it.
Well, I agree with you on the running backs. Pittman and Olave are also definitely starting for me. And the flex comes down to Jefferson and Puka for me. And what I want to keep an eye on through the rest. So I heard a quote from Kevin O'Connell this morning announcing that he was going to be back, but he also kind of snuck in there, we'll see how the snaps look. And that, smacked me across the face when I heard that sentence. So I kind of want to see if they provide any more clues into how much he's going to play. I can't imagine they're bringing him back to come and play 20% of the snaps. It doesn't make a lot of sense, just logically to me. So I have to think he'll be out there probably at least half or more of the time. And in which case, if that's the sense I get, there's no way I can conceivably put Justin Jefferson on the bench. And I understand it's hard to bench Puka, but at Baltimore,
I'm matchup.
I'm not afraid to bench him.
Is this full PPR, Lou?
Oh, that also matters. Yeah, I always just assume that unless told
Yeah.
otherwise at this
I know.
point.
I'm assuming it. Yeah, so the running backs are set. We're going Achane and Pollard. I'm cool with, Olave's been balling, but now we might need Winston as his quarterback
That might
instead
even
of
be better
Pollard.
for Olave though.
Yeah,
He'll
he's
just
got that deep.
chuck the
Winston's
ball.
that deep ball. Yeah,
Yeah.
he said half PPR. I view him essentially the same. Yeah, I'll rock with you. Tycoon. We'll go. I can't bench Justin Jefferson. I can't bench Puka either. Lou, what the hell you do? This would give me a headache. I would like suffering from success. Like, was that the DJ Khaled thing? I'm suffering from success. I feel like that's what your team is. You're winning, you're in. I think you should be in already with this team. Justin Jefferson in his first game back.
Pittman's just been a
It's
beast, and
half point
Cincinnati is such a
PPR.
good lineup.
Yeah.
and
Yeah, Pittman's got to be in. He's been balling.
I think Pittman and
and-
Olave are
look,
in. I mean,
It's
I
no
agree.
disrespect to Puka to put Justin Jefferson over Puka. I mean,
That's fair. You can't leave Justin Jefferson on the bench. I'm with you.
I think-
Puka, Baltimore's a tough matchup. I'll rock with you, Tycoon. We'll let Sinker either agree or make Lou even more confused.
No, I agree. I think if Justin Jefferson is playing, I'm gonna play him. I mean, I get it. I think it's follow what they're saying. Like if there's reports early on Sunday morning or something, sometimes that stuff gets leaked that he'll be on a snap count or something like that, and then I would pivot. But if he's full go, like I'm playing Justin Jefferson. Puka also, like, he got, what was it, a rib injury, like knocked him out of the game. I know he came
I
back.
thought he was done for the year. Like after that,
I mean,
play.
he looked like it. I thought he dislocated his shoulder or something. So, like, I don't know, man. Tough matchup. I'm probably gonna go, like you said, Pittman, Olave, Justin Jefferson, Pollard, Achane. I think that's where I'm at. But Lou, and I know you will because you're a psycho fantasy guy like us, but just listen to see what they say about JJ.
And Lou, thank you for giving us the hardest question we've ever had.
And good luck, man. Good luck.
Yeah,
Good luck.
Well,
Yeah, man.
we're
Seriously,
pulling for you, man. As long as
you
it's
got
not
the
in the
horses
league
to take that
with
home.
me. Yeah, for real. I love that squad. We'll be rooting for you, Lou. Yeah, Canes fan. He said JJ first game back and probably having Mullins starting. Come on, guys. Don't care. It's Justin Jefferson. That's what they said about. That's what they said about Chase.
Mullins sucks, but hey, he'll put the ball in a spot that JJ can win it.
That's a really tough question, Lou. I'm going to be thinking about that one all weekend. We're rooting for you, but this is an ugly one. How confident are you in Zeke moving forward? Whole New England offense sucks. Avoid him. Next question. No, but seriously, it's valid because Ramondre is going to miss time, but I am not confident at all on anyone on New England. So, again, someone who you can play if you're extremely desperate, but you really feel good about playing Zeke
gotta
or
be
any
down
Patriot
bad.
right now. Yeah, these are must-win weeks to make these championships, and so confidence on a scale of 1 to 100, 2, number 2, because that's exactly what New England's offense is. Sinker, anything to add to Zeke, or we could just?
I mean, it's just an opportunity play, right? Like if you're
For sure.
desperate, like it's like he's the only. I don't know. He might not. They'll probably. I don't even know who else is the third back on there. I should know that. If you guys know, let me know. I don't think anyone else has taken a snap this year besides those two, but I don't know. No, I'm not confident in him, to be honest with you. I think I'll just leave it simple and not try to get too deep into this.
I'm seeing Ty Montgomery and Jermichael Hasty
Yeah,
and
so-
Zeke. Yikes. Anyway, we're not confident at all. Next question. Yeah, Lou said it. Think Ty Montgomery. All right, we have a couple of sit starts left in the mailbag, and we have like 10 minutes left. If you guys have any last-minute questions, give us a last-minute call or something. But I think this one came in from Lou as well, so we appreciate the content this week, Lou. We love it. Winning, you're in again. Man, Lou's gonna have himself a damn weekend. Be shaken by his TV. I love that feeling though, especially when it goes your way.
That's what
But
it's about.
Christian Watson, who we talked about, Monday night game. We have to like hawk that injury report, see if he's even thinking about playing. Monday night game in New Jersey, 37.5 over under. T. Higgins, who just made his way back. Who do they have again? We talked about it.
Indy.
Indy. It's a good matchup. And then forward, Jacksonville.
Mm-hmm.
That's a low over under too. 30.5. A lot of low over unders this week.
Jacksonville just got ripped by Mixon too.
Yeah,
which is weird because their run defense has actually been pretty good. I know it didn't look like it last night, but I was stunned by that.
Lou's giving us some hard sitter starts, and I really love it.
I mean, for me, it's Ford. I think that, and again, it's like we talked about this earlier, right? It's like what do you need out of one of these guys? Like, are you chasing like, depending on what the rest of your roster is? But I think Ford has the highest floor. I think he's the safest guy. Like this guy's probably going to get you like 8 to 10 to 12 points. Like that's kind of the range he's at. He's safe to do that off volume. So Christian Watson, I think even if he plays, like he's probably not going to practice all week. It's probably a desperation thing. I don't love that. And Higgins, I just need to see more out of him. He's coming off
3 targets, 78 on the field for 78% of the snaps, but only 3 targets. Chase is clearly the alpha there, as we all knew. You know, T. Higgins, we know he can ball, but it's been a rough year. He's banged up, so I think I'm leaving him off this. Christian Watson against my Giants is so intriguing, but as we said, that injury is killer. So, yeah, after we saw what Mixon did to Jacksonville, you know, Jacksonville's down Lawrence. Yeah, I'm cool with rolling Ford. I'm cool with picking Ford out of these 3 because I just have bad vibes about the other 2, unless, as I said, you have a Reed or a Romeo Shakespeare, whatever, Romeo Dobbs to backup plan because you don't want to have any Giants receivers as a backup plan. So unless you have a backup plan for Watson, I'm leaning Ford, which is sinker. I'm curious how you feel about this, Tycoon.
Well, similar to the quarterback question earlier and going off what you were saying, sinker, Ford if you need that floor. But again, if this is a win and you're going to need 15, 20 points, I'm taking my chances with T. Higgins here against Indy. I mean, they just get owned on the outside. And I know he only had 3 targets last week, but again, first week back, first game with Browning.
Ease him back in.
I think he'll well, I mean, I wouldn't say he was only eased back in. Wouldn't you say it's 74% of the snaps?
Yeah, he was out there.
So I mean, he was out there, but I think he'll need to be incorporated more in this game, and honestly, he'll have a much easier time getting open against Indianapolis.
Yeah, I don't hate that at all. This is definitely a tough one. Lou asks, if healthy, would you go Watson? I personally would. I don't know if these guys would. Tycoon, you're still rolling Higgins.
Still roll the dice with Higgins, frankly.
I mean, you know I love some Watson. If he's like all of a sudden practicing on Thursday, Friday, like I'll probably go.
Didn't look good. It didn't look good though.
I know. I don't think he will play, to be honest with you. I think he's going to be out 1 to 2 weeks. That's my just like, you know, I'm not a doctor. Don't trust me. It's just what I think. But if for some reason he's practicing Thursday, Friday, like I love Christian Watson. I think like the connection with Love is there. Like I love him. That would be my pick. But
good luck, Lou. Thanks for giving us another hard one. We're rooting for you there. We got a Canes fan asking us to bench one: Flowers, Deontay Johnson, Drake London, or Hopkins. Mitch Trubisky with Deontay now. I
mean, for me, this is pretty easy. I mean, for me, like I'm playing Flowers for sure. I'm gonna play Hopkins.
Yep, me too.
So for me, it's between Deontay,
same here,
and London, and I'm probably leaning London. I don't like. I don't like starting anyone on the Steelers right now, but.
Yeah,
I wouldn't hate it if you guys go either way, but I think that we all agree you're not benching Flowers or Hopkins. So
no, those 2 are definitely in. Yeah, I'm gonna rock with you. I'm going Flowers, Hopkins, London. I don't trust Trubisky. It is New England, but their defense is actually stingy. I mean, it was 6-0 against the Chargers. So yeah, we all agree on those 3.
Yeah. Also, like short week, right? That's the Thursday night game.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh, like, dude,
and
those
these
games
Thursday unders, they've been horrible games.
Yeah.
The worst feeling ever is having a must-win game to make the fantasy playoffs, starting a guy on a Thursday, and then he gives you 4 points or something. So, you know, if he goes off, my apologies, but you really think he's going to go off with Mitch Trubisky? Could happen, but I'm a man of probability, and I'm not feeling great about that. So
In other
just want
matchups, I think he'll be all right. Actually, I mean, I think they've had some good games together, but just this is not one for me. Just
Yeah,
yeah,
I agree.
Kane fan. Trubisky seems to have a better connection
yeah.
with Deontay than
I think
Pickett.
he does actually.
Yeah, I mean Pickett was pretty ass. So maybe it is an upgrade. Who knows? I still think I want Drake London out there over Deontay Johnson, especially on the short week, as we said. But best of luck, bud. Appreciate you tuning in, asking the questions. Jonathan lost Tank Dell. He wants to know if he should pick up Zeke or Zay Jones. And
Is that just for
yikes!
Is that just for this week, or like is this a permanent thing? I don't
He said
know.
he also doesn't know about the Christian Watson injury, which I'm hoping he would play because I do not want to play Zeke or Zay Jones. I think there's got to be someone better out. Oh, man, that
Every
is
league
rough.
is its own ecosystem. It's so hard to say if there would really be anything better. I mean, if it's
Yeah, it is
this
hard to
week, I'm
say.
not trying to play either of those guys. Whatever, but as far as rest of the season goes, probably still Zay. Just should Trevor actually be able to make a comeback within 2 or 3 weeks, and with Kirk being out, I do think I'll have a chance to be valuable.
I'm with you
Zeke, I
there.
think just that whole offense is lost to New England. I don't want to be involved.
Definitely with you there. He said pick up. Like he's not necessarily saying start. He's listening to his other. He has Ty Hill, so you can win any week if you have Tyreek Hill, Zach Moss, Josh Jacobs, Warren. It's not great, but it can be serviceable. You have Tyreek Hill. Oh shit, we have a call. 9:56. Let's go at the buzzer. We connected.
Yeah, is this Joe from Boston?
Yes, sir. What's up,
Yeah.
people? It's Joe from
Hey.
Boston. I just wanted to check in. I promised I would call, and I needed Chauncey to sweat it out a little bit. He probably thought I wasn't going to call because I'm pissed, but I'm not pissed. I would have lost anyway. The James Conner thing, all good.
Good.
But this week yeah, dude, don't worry. And actually, Cooper Kupp had a good game, so I'm excited. He might be looking like he's looking in the right direction. Puka got a little dinged up, and Kupp scored a tutty, so you're off the hook. But I'm gonna need Connor. He's gonna buy this week, and I'm actually excited because he looked good too. So all things considered, it wasn't bad. I'm here, week 13, whatever it is. This is it, do or die. I need to win, or if I lose, I have to still score a crap load of points to make sure I don't get bounced. So either way, win or lose, I need to put up points this week. And you guys kind of already touched on it. You killed it with the Noah Brown stuff. At the beginning of the show, you were talking about Noah Brown. Could be a blow-up spot. So here's my conundrum for this week. Great show this week. Thanks again for always letting me on at the last minute here. I'll hang up and listen. Do you go Noah Brown, Devin Singletary, or Deonta Foreman? I just need that 6 to 10 point flex play. I'll talk to you guys next week. Have a great rest of your week and good luck.
Thanks, Joe.
It's always a pleasure, Joe. I'm glad I'm off the hook.
No doubt, brother. All right, brother. Peace.
All right, man. Talk soon. That's Noah Brown for me. I know it's the Jets and a tough matchup, but compared to those other two guys, that one's kind of easy for me. I'm playing Noah Brown, especially with Tank Dell out. Canes fan chiming in. He would do the same. I saw these two gentlemen shake their heads. I'm assuming
Yep.
we're all going Noah Brown sinker.
With
Well, let me just no. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. No. Yeah, Noah Brown, man. This is an easy one for me.
Yeah.
So, but I do. Hey, Joe, I did say James Conner. So let me get a little shout out for that.
He deserves it.
Yeah, I wouldn't count on anything for Foreman or Singletary. Yeah, roll with Brown.
Yeah.
Another winning in Isaiah Likely or Taysom Hill. We talked about how we liked Hill. It's a good matchup. Good matchup against Carolina. 37.5 over under. FanDuel Sportsbook. We talked about the Ravens matchup a little bit. Oh man, that is a great question, man. I think I'm leaning Taysom Hill because we already talked about that chance of the gadget play, and expect Likely to ball out on your bench after I say that. But I'm going Taysom Hill out of these two. I'm curious on what these guys say. Tycoon, who do you? This is a tough question. Lou is just pounding on these tough questions this week. And
This is the hardest one too. I'm gonna say Taysom, but man, seeing what Likely did last year when Andrews was out, and the Rams are 6th worst against the tight ends in fantasy. So still Taysom, but like
very close.
not a big margin for me. No.
Yeah, this
like,
is very close.
I love the spot for Likely.
I do too. I don't know, man. It's a tough one too. I'll probably. Sanch, did you answer yet?
Yeah, I'm leaning Taysom. I'm checking matchups.
I'll probably just universally agree with you guys on that.
All right, Rams at Baltimore, 40.5 over under. That's outside. Taysom's in the dome. I would check the weather in Baltimore on Sunday because when I'm like that close, I look into everything. I look into Vegas odds on the odds to score a touchdown. I check the weather, everything. That's so close. There's Vegas expects more points in the Ravens game, but not by much, only like 3 and change. Taysom Hill for me, Taysom Hill for Tycoon, and for you as well, Sinker.
Yeah, man, Taysom Hill for me.
All right, I'll make sure to put Likely in some of my DFS lineups because he's bound to go off now that we all went against him. But
I think he's a good start. But
either way,
for
sure. That's a tough question. Those are 2 great starts to have. Lou, again, 3rd time. Best of luck, man. These are the big weeks. Another last second question from Chandler. Thanks for tuning in, Chandler. This is a crazy one.
Just the fact that this question can even be asked brings me so much joy. The answer's Allen, though.
Yeah,
the answer is definitely Allen. Division game, right?
Yeah, it's Chiefs Bills, man. Kansas City.
San Fran's in a division game with Seattle.
I mean, Josh Allen coming off a bye. The Chiefs Bills games historically.
Remember those games?
They always become shootouts. Josh Allen, he rips us apart, man. So I think coming off the bye and a must win, I think I'm going Allen. I do love Purdy though.
Yeah, they're both great to have. Congratulations on holding 2 great quarterbacks. Yeah, I'm leaning Allen too, just because you've seen what he can do in those Chiefs matchups, and maybe we'll get another instant classic. I'm hoping for that.
I think it'll be good, dude. Honestly, but those games are always good. I'm actually going to that on Sunday, so I'm excited.
I'm jealous.
All right, man. Enjoy. And Bills, Chiefs, and Arrowhead. That sounds great. Yeah, I think we're all on Josh Allen, but it's closer than a lot of people think. We just talked about how good Purdy's been, and as I said, congratulations on having both of them. Hope you make that playoff push, Chandler, and I appreciate you tuning in. Big Lou with one more. Last big win and in. Thank you. We gotta log off eventually.
This is a trick question.
Yeah, Sam Howell or Jared Goff? Sam Howell's on a bye week, isn't he?
Yes.
Jared Goff. it's Jared Goff, and I think it's Jared Goff even if Howell wasn't on a bye week. So
unless it's a league that me and Sanch are in, Lou.
Yeah, then you can play Howell this week.
Then fire up Howell.
Yeah, he's gonna go off. Thanks. I don't know. Anyway, we got one more in the mailbag. Sorry, we're a couple of minutes over, but you guys have been awesome with all the questions and the call today. Just a great show. We're happy to have you here, and there's only a few more left. So thanks for hanging with us because it's going to be a long off season, and got to find something else to do with our time on Tuesday nights. But last question came in from Jay Willie, who's going to be on the show with us next week. Good friend of mine. He's a dynasty nerd, and it's going to make for some good content. But he has a flex question, and he wants to know if he should play Flowers, McBride, or JSN. I'm not playing JSN, especially against San Fran. I think I'm leaning the receiver. I know McBride's been balling.
McBride's on bye anyways.
Is he?
Yeah. So Flowers.
Huh.
Yeah, they are on bye. Yeah, Zay Flowers all day. Even if McBride wasn't on bye, I'm going Zay Flowers, dude, coming off that big game.
I agree. And that's a shame on me for fact checking all that. I just saw the question, I put it in. I'm like, all right, let me check up the matchup. So good call, Tycoon. McBride on the bye week. Sinker said it best. Like, even if McBride was playing, I know he's balling, but without Andrews, Flowers had that breakup game, and we talked about it a week or two back. We expect that to continue. Kid is good. The Chargers should have took him over Quentin Johnston. East, if you're watching, that's a shot at you. But that's all. That is all. We have one more week of I guess you could say a regular season as far as fantasy goes before the playoffs. And damn, if you're in a win and in matchup or need a miracle and you're not in any leagues with us, we'll be rooting for you. And we really appreciate all the love and support you've given us this year. As I said, we only have a couple more to go. And Tycoon, you have been great, man. So before we log off, I want you to take the floor for a couple minutes, tell the people about you, what you do, where they can find you, your takes, and all that good stuff.
Absolutely. Well, number one, just thank you guys again for inviting me. This was a blast. This was a lot of fun. Don't do enough guesting. So I say actually being able to have my hands on the wheel behind the scenes too is nice. Just to actually just sit here and talk ball. What's better?
It's the best.
With that said,
welcome,
yeah,
bro.
you can find me on Twitter at ff_tycoon, the handle that you see right here. You can find me on YouTube at the Fantasy Boardroom. That is my show, generally Wednesday nights, 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern. Sometimes a little variability, but that's where you can catch me. And within all of my videos, there's a link to our Discord server where there's some fantasy discussion on the Discord, some prop bet picks, although this year my NFL props have been terrible. English Premier League soccer picks, fantastic. So if you like to bet soccer, you can make some money off me this year.
Cool.
And that's where you can find me generally. Twitter, YouTube, Discord, and actually pay attention to my show in the next week or two. There is a significant announcement coming from me. So stay tuned. That's all I can say for now.
I linked the YouTube too, so if you're still hanging around, jump on there, give him a subscribe, and
appreciate you.
Yeah, man,
for sure. Fantasy Football Tycoon, one of the best, if not the best, mustaches in the game. Got to shot that out one again, but we are over on our time. This has been a blast. For Tycoon, for Sinker, I'm Sanchi Value, and let's go win some freaking fantasy football championships. You guys like the sound of that? Because that's what we're gonna do. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next week. Peace.